Oh my god, that's just so fun. Okay, so does this shirt make me look ripped? I like this shirt, but I don't think anything's gonna make me look ripped. So why do I pick on INFJ so much? Why am I picking on you guys? Well, it didn't start out that way. If you look at my first video, I just did a video, me and a friend. We were just like talking about our dynamic and blah 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 blah. And it was like kind of an annoying video because it was just INFJ after INFJ, like, oh my god, she's in love with you. Oh, you guys are so cute. We were literally just friends. We like talked about if we ever wanted to date each other. We didn't. We were just friends, but goddamn, that was annoying. So that aside, it was fine. I put the video up. Figures people might like watching ENTP and INFJ interact. So, fast forward a little, and I was like thinking about a post that I made on Typology Central. Well, at the time it was MBTI Central, like 10 years ago, on why I thought INFJs and ENTPs were hands down the best dynamic. And I wasn't just saying like the best. I was really saying the best. Like I was saying of all the possible potential MBTI type pairings, I thought ENTP INFJ was the best. So that post, I just posted that shit. To be honest with you, I posted it like trying to pick up some bitches. I was like, I want to try to date INFJ. And at the time I had this idea, this like that they were super, super rare and blah, blah, blah. How the fuck would you ever find out INFJ? So I was like, I'm going to put this bait out here and see if I get any nibbles. So I posted it basically all on theoretical because I didn't have any real particular experience. I mean, I had known INFJs previously in my life, but, you know, I didn't know they were INFJs at the time. So anyways, that post has ended up getting like 300,000 responses, or views. I'm sorry, like 300 responses. But it's gotten like 300,000 views. So in part, I feel like I contributed a lot, you know, starting 10 years ago to this mystical, magical INFJ, ENTP, like that's going to solve the problems that you've had in all your other relationships kind of mentality. So I posted my video about why I thought it was a horrific match, because I think it's great on paper. I think it has potential, but I think it's bad in practice. So I posted that post, and you know, I brought up some things. I brought up the cheating. I brought up some whatever. And of course, you INFJs got to be like, oh, he was so hurt. He was so hurt. And fuck, like, it's, I don't even know what to say to that. I felt like I had to respond with a video because it's like, I'm not a little whiny bitch. Like, I don't look at life like that. I'm not like, they hurt me. I'm so hurt. It just hurts. I'm not going to date again forever. I'm just going to get a cat instead. Like, that's not me. I'm just like, oh, some shit happens. Some shit's going to happen tomorrow. Whatever. Let's get trekking with life. Because, you know, what the fuck can you do? Like, I've hurt people. People have hurt me. It's just an exchange. It's a give and take of life, right? So I felt like I had to respond to that. I felt like I had to respond to the INFJ cheating. And then that leads to more, oh, he was so hurt. He's so angry. And I'm not angry. I'm not angry about shit. So then I have to make another video. So somehow it's turned into this big-ass INFJ vlog that I don't even, what the fuck? How did I get here? So why am I always picking on you guys? I think you guys have so much fucking potential. That's why. And the internet is spoiling your brains. Like, it's spoiling your brains with, look at the posts in some of my videos. People talk about how angelic INFJs are and how they're so great at reading people. And there's this fucking allure that even INFJs have somehow bought into that they could never live up to. But it's I think it's damaging. Like, endless, constant affirmation. Like, who the fuck can grow in that environment? That's like eternal sunshine. Like, nothing's gonna grow in there. It needs balance. It needs the nighttime. It needs the heat. It needs the cool. It needs the wet. It needs the dry. And so there's no dissenting anything on the internet at this point about INFJs. You maybe see a little story here, or a little something there, but there's actually no source for you to go to grow. If you want to see how somebody else views you, and somebody that really fucking cares about people like me, and somebody who really cares about growth, somebody who's extremely growth driven, you don't have a lot of outlets for somebody to say, hey, look, guys, here's the thing. Are you doing this one thing? I'll give you a really good example. The preemptive apologies, and I'm going to do a video on people that do this, but how often do you say sorry in a day? Like, literally ask yourself that question. Have you thought that through? Sorry means you feel sorrow over something, yet you're preemptively apologizing for what you think somebody else might be upset about. Like, you're giving away your energy. You're giving away your power as a human being to somebody else. You're willingly doing it. You're conceding your like energy, your life force, whatever you want to call it, to another human being. For what? Why is this programmed into you? Why are you trained to apologize for existing, for apologize for being yourself? I don't like it. I don't like when I see that. Look in the comment section at how many times an INFJ has said, oh, I'm sorry, oh, I'm sorry, oh, I'm sorry, about something they had no reason to be sorry for, or something they think that I maybe was or was not upset about. It's hard for me to watch, because I know you guys, when you are at your best, when you're healing, when you're there for somebody, when you're able to be in a situation where you thrive, like, I know what you're capable of. So sometimes this is going to sound fucked up. I get it, but I almost feel like how a parent would feel towards somebody. Like, there's a lot of INFJs that are on a hardcore growth path and are working in that direction. And I know, I have some very close people to me that fall into that category. So these videos aren't for them, because you're already doing this. But then there's the types that you're stumbling, and you're not sure, you've been hurt by people, and being an ENTP, I want you to think about this for a second. So I'm NETI-FE, right? You're NI-FE-TI. So we have our same dominant function with the switch, and then our with the switch in introversion, extroversion, in terms of how we express or use it. And then our middle two functions are exactly the same. They're just switched. Now, if you think about TI as a protector of FE, right? You guys have been raw your whole life. So you've been exposed to emotional stuff. You've maybe been pulled into family stuff. You felt empathetic in ways you didn't even know to understand before you could even know what they meant. And that's extremely difficult. If you were not raised in an ideal situation, it is highly likely that you are going to be 18 with damage to your FE. Something's going to have happened to it, because your TI is on the other side of it, and it's not able to protect it. So I think you can find yourself in a position where you have so much damage or scarring to your FE that your TI really never gets developed well. Now, if you reverse that, think about just the tertiary and secondary function of the ENTP, which are exactly the same, but my TI is protecting my FE. And I think that's why my FE was always shielded. It always had something to take the hit for it. It always had something to absorb the damage. So I was never hurt like you guys were hurt. So as I've gotten older, I understand how you project. Oh my God, that must have hurt so bad, because I know that it would have hurt you. But as I've aged, I've been able to let my FE kind of peek out, be like, what's up out there? Oh shit, that looks scary. And I've been able to develop it probably in a more controlled and safer way. So in that regard, I think that an ENTP and an INFJ have so fucking much to offer each other. It isn't even funny. I think the issue there is finding an INFJ that has either gotten over the damage, figured out how to resolve it internally, or one who just was raised in a situation where they weren't damaged and then ended up in a relationship where their better qualities weren't exploited by somebody. Because I mean, you guys are prone to that. You're prone to having somebody exploit some of the best components and aspects of you as a person. So here I sit, like I'm talking to you compassionately as somebody who really cares, as somebody who understands your function stack, as somebody who can relate to it in a lot of ways, and as somebody who can balance it out and say, hey, look, I know how you feel, but I'm right here. I'm the other side of this coin. We're the same. I'm just the other side of this coin. And I'm showing you this perspective over here. I want to see yours. I'm showing you mine. So I think I'm hard on INFJs because I know what you guys are capable of, and when I see you stuck in a victim mode, when I see you giving away your power and your energy, habitually apologizing, or making excuses for just being yourselves when your behaviors and your actions a lot of times are very valid, that's hard for me. Another thing that's really difficult for me is when I see you guys, like, you have this thing that works for you. We do things because they work for us, right? So your ability to read people, passive-aggressive people, timid people, people that aren't empowered, people that don't have good boundaries, your ability to pick up on something is very, very, very good. I don't think anybody would ever question that. If you spent any time with an INFJ, you know that they will soak up your mood. And I can relate to that to a degree. I mean, I'm a 43-year-old man. I've never been in a strip club. Like, I was in a strip club when I was young, friends like, oh my God, we got to go to a strip club. But I've never been in a strip club as a functional adult, 22 and over, because it's fucking disgusting to me, like, energetically. And I'm not, it's not a judgment on the people working there. It's just a judgment on the energy of the atmosphere, the desperation, and it feels horrible to me, and I've felt that from a very young age, so I can't imagine how it must feel for you. So I understand how that serves you. I understand how it serves you with passive aggressive people. I understand how being able to read people, I understand how that serves you 90% of the time or 80% of the time, whatever it might be. But you are going to hit a certain point in your growth where it's not going to serve you for people, because you're dealing with people that are being authentic and they're being real and they're giving you their truest self, and they're giving you true expressions of themselves and the realest form of information that they have. And at that point, when you're trying to read between the lines for people that don't write between the lines, and I fully agree, 90% of people are transmitting data between the lines. But when you reach somebody like me who is not transmitting anything but between the lines, who is willing to be fully and completely transparent, and you start reading there, everything that you take in there is going to be inaccurate. And so I think you have to be really careful of that. It's hard for me to watch, because I know that you doing that is then also getting in the way of your growth. And I think, as I've said numerous times in this video, I think you have so much growth potential. That's hard for me to watch. So I'm not here to like kick your asses. I'm not here to make you cry. I'm not here to make you feel bad about yourself. I'm here to say, like, man, I'm here. I got your back. I see you. I know what's going on. I know that shit isn't easy. And here are the steps that an outsider looking in can say, hey, you might be missing this. I think this is a blind spot for you. I think this is an area that you should look, and I think this is something you should explore. Are you habitually apologizing? Are you reading into things with people that you maybe don't have to read into things with? Are you justifying behaviors that you probably shouldn't justify, but you feel vindicated because you've been hurt by somebody or something? Do you have situations in your current life where somebody from your past has hurt you, but you're applying it to somebody who has nothing to do with that situation, yet you're still fearful that they're going to, so you're not, like, these are the questions I'm posing. And I'm not attacking you all by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, I would say nothing could be further from the truth. I wouldn't make these fucking videos if I didn't give a shit. Like, truly give a shit about you and your growth. So, I think this is a goddamn, hopefully the last video I ever have to make on this shit, because eventually I just want to get out of MBTI and focus on welding and little houses and things like that. So, alright, I'm out of here.